que saiu incólume, mas... e sair ali, com certeza.
Showing Doctor Who and the Space Raiders battling with Daleks. Free when you buy Wall's new shaped Skyray. Only 6 months.
Time is running out.
The destiny of the Doctors is in your hands.
In a game like nothing on Earth, with old enemies and new... Doctor Who, Destiny of the Doctors. Out now on PC CD-ROM. It was only a question of time.
Pedro Machado só não conseguiu baixar o tempo devido ao espetacular acidente ao Minardi de Pierluigi Martini, que saiu incólume, mas... e sair ali com certeza.
been very near to win the Brazilian Grand Prix many other occasions. We've been always very competitive, but for different reasons we were never able to do it. And today is a memorable day in my career, in my life. I'm over the moon.
Wednesday, April 24th, 4 days before the race. The big transporters that carry the Formula One cars start to arrive in Imola. Of primary importance is to claim your space in the paddock fairly early. Otherwise, parking can be quite a chore, to say the least. Once the trucks are in place, it's time to unload the cars, the spares, all the accessories needed for the race weekend.
Brabham too have a new car at Imola, and theirs also has the same high nose feature at the front. We took the opportunity to speak to the designer, Sergio Rinnan, and ask him what the prospects were for his car.
Well, I'm just hoping that it will be all right. We've got a lot to learn about this car because it's completely new and done in a completely new system as well, and a new philosophy of setting the car up and everything else. So we done few laps in Monza last week. We learned a lot. There's a lot of development to do, and we just have to carry on working.
We can expect the new car, to run slightly better than the old one then?
Oh yes, for sure.
Any idea how much better?
No, I can tell you that after Sunday.
4 of the teams had brand new cars at Imola. This is Frenchman Olivier Grillard's new British-designed Fonmetal with its Ford DFR V8 engine. Whilst 3 times world champion Nelson Piquet was looking forward to driving the very different-looking John Barnard-designed Benetton B191, propelled by a revised and more powerful version of Ford's latest V8 Grand Prix engine. But the all-new car was virtually untested, and the usual myriad of new car problems had meant a succession of all-nighters for the team's mechanics. Englishman Alan Jenkins designed the new footwork Porsche with the innovative nose job. But, like Benetton, the team were up against it. Michele Alboreto had had an enormous crash in testing at Imola and had completely destroyed the first car to be built. Italian Alex Caffey drove the second new footwork, but it had only been completed the day before practice began. And with new engine problems too, the team weren't optimistic about their chances. Brabham Brabham needed a new car because the previous one was really a makeshift to enable the team to get cracking with their new Yamaha V12 engine, which was coming along nicely. Sergio Rinland's design was acknowledged to be one of the best looking in the pit lane. Beautifully built, with finely detailed and advanced aerodynamics, it looked as though in time it could enable Brabham to achieve their ambition to get back on the podium at the end of races. Grand Prix new boy Mark Blundell and his experienced teammate Martin Brundle both reckoned it could eventually get the job done.
New car's lighter, more nimble, faster in a straight line. Now we need to find out the best suspension setting to make it faster, and we need more horsepower.
Imola's first action for 5 of the 18 teams was Friday morning's dreaded hour of pre-qualifying. From Portugal, Pedro Chaves in the Coloni Ford sadly never even looked like making the cut. And with fuel problems in his Lamborghini V12, Nicola Larini was out. So too was Olivier Griard's Fondmetal when he was blocked by another driver in the closing seconds of the hour. Emanuele Pirro's Dallara Judd caught fire, and the Roman's time in the spare was too slow. The slowest to pre-qualify, likeable Belgian Eric van der Poel in his Lamborghini. But Bertrand Gachot, another Belgian, sailed through in his Jordan 4. And ironically, Finland's JJ Leto not only made it, but did so in the Dallara in which Pirro had failed. No problem for Andre De Cesaris. With 151 Grand Prix behind him, he was the fastest pre-qualifier in his Jordan 4.
Not so for Formula One newcomers Jordan. They announced a major new sponsorship deal with Japanese film giants Fuji. Eddie Jordan has made quite an impression, both on and off the circuit, in his first season in Formula One.
Well, thank you for saying so, but obviously it's been incredibly difficult. It's not the most conducive climate for the economical well-being of companies and corporate companies at the moment, but we've tried a different strategy in terms of a marketing aspect, not just the commercial aspect on the racetrack and all the good benefits that it entails, but we've tried to combine that and the strict marketing sense, in other words, uniting good corporate companies with different promotional aspects, and that's the way we've tried to program the whole future of what we're trying to do.
And on the track this weekend, some people say that this is where the season really begins. You've had 2 cracks at it, now you're going into Europe. How do you feel?
Well, I have to say the testing last week was very encouraging. We're going quicker every time we go out. Obviously we're a very new team and anything can go wrong. This will be our 3rd race. I'm still optimistic. I think we can score points, but I've got to be very guarded with my optimism because I'm a natural optimist anyway. And my opinion is that we have not seen the full potential of this team yet, and I'm not sure exactly when that potential will be fully realised, but I think hopefully shortly.
Ready, steady, go!
Is everybody happy? Anybody needs some more practice or just one more?
Yeah. What do you do? Yeah. Vroom, vroom.
But the track is slightly damp, so it'd probably be best to go with rain tyres.
Maybe all of that will change here today, though if qualifying's any guide, we're looking at another McLaren benefit. Ayrton Senna rules the roost with his 55th pole position. Every reason to be confident here, and who, as he explained to us, has every reason to like the Imola circuit.
Already 11 points clear in the championship from Alain Prost. So whatever happens in Italy this afternoon, Senna will still lead the table tonight. And in the Constructors' Championship, McLaren's lead is 14 points. Williams showing ever-improving form for Mansell and Patrese. But it's Ferrari second in the Constructors, and this afternoon Ferrari are very much on home ground. But conditions in Italy, well, they couldn't be worse. A downpour at Imola, but in position, I am sure, are James Hunt and Murray Walker.
Well, you spotted it, Steve, and this is the big question right now. On Friday, it was bitterly cold at Imola. Yesterday, Saturday, it poured with rain when we got up and looked out of our hotel bedroom windows this morning. Bright blue sky, sunshine, all good for a fine race. But at 1300 hours Italian time, we started to get some rain spots. Then 40 minutes later, lightning and thunder, and you can see the situation now. I can tell you that all the cars are on the grid with dry condition tyres, that is to say slick treaded tyres with no tread pattern on them, and there seems little doubt to me that this will be declared a wet race, in which case the cars will be starting on wet condition tyres. You can see there Ayrton Senna, confirmation that he's 11 points as a result of 2 wins ahead of Alain Prost in the World Championship. And in third position, equal, Riccardo Patrese and Nelson Piquet. Nigel Mansell, driving for Williams, has yet to score. He's had gearbox problems this morning with the Williams, as has Riccardo Patrese. That has been the team's Achilles heel this year. But Frank Williams seemed to be pretty confident that they had overcome the half-hour practice problem today. So this race is going to run for 61 laps, and it's a long, hard race. It's a difficult course to set the car up for, and a very abrasive surface.
Yes, and this rain has really thrown the cat among the pigeons for the teams, because whilst it's raining, and raining quite hard at the moment, there's plenty of blue sky around, and it looks very much as if this is just a shower. It's the first rain we've had today. It's been dry all day, and in fact it was dry 15 minutes ago when all the cars went out onto the grid. Now we're looking at a car with wet tyres sitting around it. with the wet and dry race situation, there's a rule here that a race is declared a wet race or a dry race depending on what the majority of cars on the grid are starting on, i.e. whether they're starting on the slick dry weather tyres or whether they're starting on wets. Now, it seems fairly certain that although a lot of people there, for instance the Ferrari you're looking at, is still sitting on its dry tyres, but the wets are sitting beside it, for sure they'll change it. Nobody is going to start in these conditions like that, and therefore more than 50% of the field, I'm confident, will have to start on wets. And that means that if the conditions change, the race does not get stopped. The teams are left to their own devices to come in and change tyres as and when they please. Whereas, if it was damp weather and it was declared a dry race, if you then get a downpour, the race is stopped, so that everybody comes in and changes tyres that way. This way, as we get a wet race, we're liable to carry on right through to the bitter end.
Well, you probably saw a hideous gaffe by somebody on your screen caption there, because they had Martin Donnelly starting in the San Marino Grand Prix, and I think it was 25th position. It is, in fact, of course, Mika Hakkinen, the brilliant young Finnish driver, who has done so well, and Julian Bailey, his teammate, is last on the grid, both of them in Lotuses, and it's the first time this year that both Lotus cars will have started a Grand Prix, because Julian Bailey, for a variety of reasons, was unable to qualify at Phoenix and Brazil. Talking of Brazil, there he is, Mr. Brazil himself, Ayrton Senna, twice the world champion, including 1990, pole position for the 55th time. He won here at San Marino, at Imola, in 1988 and 1989, and he was second fastest in the warm-up this morning to his teammate Gerhard Berger.
Now, I know a lot of people with British interests at home will be waiting for some results from Nigel Mansell, and of course he's promised a lot this year already with the new Williams, which is clearly a very competitive and fast car. There's Patrese, who's on the front row of the grid. He won this race last year, Mansell's Williams teammate. And of course, problems with their new semi-automatic gearbox have afflicted the team so far, and in particular on Nigel Mansell's car. Well, if the problems are mechanical, the wet weather may well be of help to the Williams team and to their reliability with the gearbox, because of course the cars get a lot less strain on a damp track, and that ups the mechanical reliability enormously. So this may well help the Williams team if they haven't got that gearbox 100% sorted yet, and clearly they haven't got it 100% right, because both cars had problems with it this morning.
Alain Prost, third on the grid in the semi-automatic gearbox Ferrari. He was judged by a lot of experts today to be the only person who'd put up a truly honest time in the half-hour practice this morning of the top three, because Berger went out in the spare car. .55th pole position, but not nearly as much faster as he's used to being. Only 1/10 of a second faster in practice than Riccardo Patrese, who in turn was only 2/10 of a second faster than Alain Prost. Now this is, as I was saying, the Tamburello that they're approaching now, and just you can see now what an enormous advantage the man in the front, Ayrton Senna, has got. He is the only man, if he has a clean start, who will have a clear track in front of him, because all the rest will be having to contend with the plumes of spray and the solid wall of water that has been thrown up. But Julian Bailey's just getting away very late, but it's not going to be a problem for him as it might have been, because he was last on the grid anyway, so he hasn't been passed by anybody, in which case he would have had to stay where he was. So this is the top chicane, the Variante Alta, where they have done a bit of a climb down into third gear. From here they drop downhill to the double 90-degree bend Rivazza, and then through the second chicane and through to complete the lap.
So there we are on board with Nigel Mansell. Looks like from this angle, and that gives you a fair idea of what the spray is like when they're going slowly. When they're going at full racing speed, it gets a lot worse, and you really can't see anything. But in the early part of the race, drivers will be much better to be thinking about when to make their pit stops than to really be concentrating on trying to go quickly. And there's a spinner there already. That's a Ferrari. And was that Prost or was it a Lazy? That was Prost. And another spinner. So there's obviously, I would suspect there's a big puddle that looks like there's a river running across the track there. That was Berger. Prost. If Prost stalled his engine, he's in real trouble. And it looks like he has. Prost looked to me to be trying to get out of his car then. And if Prost has stalled, I don't see how he's going to get back into the race at all.
The man in the green flag will go across. There he is. He's ready. They're ready to go now. And they get away very quickly indeed. They get the brilliant start. But there was a contact. From here.
Yes, tremendous stuff. He good. Brave stuff. He was right in the middle of the race. He got a little bit of a switch, but he was all right.
He's right up alongside him. No, dropping back.
Looking like an attack down the inside. He nipped back inside. Tremendously cheeky and wonderful stuff. Real racer stuff. And he's still trying.
Well, apparently, Murray, what happened was that off the line, he was in first gear, and got a lot of wheel spin.
Box, box, box. Talk back one and box. Talk one and box.
banging his steering wheel in frustration. Something has happened. It looks as though he's out of the race.
That's the way, boy. That's great. Just saying, well done, mate. Keep at it. Good job.
you want a box? Can you confirm you want a box? Confirm, understood. Okay, you just want to fit another new set? Any flap adjust? No flap adjust, no. Okay, understood. We'll just fit the new tyre.
direction. And they're really just chipping away at this fastest lap. There's nobody going quicker by leaps and bounds.
we're going to be in this lap, sir, in this lap.
We have a penalty. Can you take the penalty at the end of this lap, please? So pass through at the end of this lap.
This is unacceptable. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm saying unbelievable. Unacceptable.
I saw a puff of smoke. You watch. I saw it just out of a car, and there it is, and it's got a bit worse. So, but remember, we saw Berger's car smoke when he was driving the Ferrari throughout a Grand Prix, the whole Grand Prix, and still finish the race. So it doesn't necessarily mean it's terminal, but that is a bit more than just a puff like an overfilled tank or the breather, because if they're a bit worried about oil, they overfill the tank, and in the early laps it puffs, but that looks a bit of a bigger puff.
And there's that puff of smoke that James was talking about.
And that looked like a massive engine blow-up.
And that is a major engine blow-up.
Yes, that's a really spectacular cloud of smoke. It must have been very difficult for the drivers right behind him to see where on earth they were going. But everybody seemed to get through all right. And and everything.
going to be in this lap, sir, in this lap. Laps on these new tyres now. Come on!
That's for gears there.
He's stopping! He's stopping! He's banging!
It looks like he might be out of fuel. We also have a very bumpy surface, and that again puts, particularly with slow corners, puts a big strain on transmissions, because the rear wheels are trying to come off the ground and they're grabbing as they go light and then land again, and that puts a big torsional strain through the drive shafts and into the gearbox.
And Jonathan Palmer knows something that I don't.
Well, it's been a race of attrition so far to a certain extent. That 8 seconds he lost was apparently due to a mysterious gear selection problem.
the race is still on. Shouldn't be too much of a delay. I'll try and figure something out. But shouldn't be too much longer, hopefully. But yeah, still streaming the now, so go play some video games or something. I don't fucking know.
But I saw a puff of smoke. You watch. I saw it just out of the cotton down.
Live in the same night, and how'd you do? Why not? Of course it's me. What's that? Pertwee?
Okay.
Never heard of him. What do you mean, Pertwee? Yes, right, I'll do that.
Okay, 10 seconds.
Who says you're not lucky having Channel 54 to tune to with the Doctor every weeknight and on Saturdays? What more could one ask? Except perhaps whether you're a member. After all, programming this good deserves your support. And it's really easy to do your bit. You just pick up the phone, dial 998-5400 and tell them who you are. Hello? Yes, I'd like to make a pledge Troughton. T-R-O-U-G-H-T-O-N. T-R-O-U-G-H-T-O-N. Yes, yes, of course it's me. Who? Pertwee? No, it's me.
Is that okay? One more?
One more.
Oh, that's it? That's it? Okay.
Right at the beginning of the race,
finishes 8th.
Yes, well, a good day for some of the drivers we don't normally see up in the points. They've had good, reliable races. They don't have competitive cars, but today, the real story of today was the loss of both Ferrari and the Williams team right at the beginning of the race. Prost even went out on the warm-up lap, spun off in a puddle and couldn't get going again. And Alesi also threw his race away in the Ferrari after a couple of laps with a little bit of over-aggressive and inexperienced driving, which no doubt Ferrari will not let him forget for a while. But that really ruined the race, and I was saying just before the race that the wet conditions normally ups mechanical reliability rather than downed it, but of course that doesn't allow for the brains inside these semi-automatic gearboxes, which in Williams' team, I think, or certainly in Mansell's case, was his problem. In fact, Patrese had a little bit of an electrical problem on his engine to start off with, then a gearbox problem later. So, unfortunately, mechanical reliability took the Williams team out, driver error took the Ferraris out, and that, sadly, left McLaren's absolutely on their own, really.
Aqui temos os 3 primeiros que vão dirigir-se agora ao pódio. Um triunfo total da McLaren, e aqui está o Ferrari de Alain Prost, que não fez mais do que meia volta de aquecimento, não da corrida. Ele nem sequer chegou a largar para o Grande Prémio. Quanto a Jean Alesi, também durou muito pouco tempo, uma jornada verdadeira desilusão para a equipa do Cavaleiro. Este é o Ferrari de Jean Alesi. Também não terminou nenhum Benetton Ford. Roberto Moreno chegou a fazer uma boa prova até determinado momento, depois abandonou. Nenhum Williams também no final. Enfim, das equipas consideradas fortes, apenas a McLaren, e logo com os 2 carros nos 2 primeiros lugares. De facto, a equipa de Ron Dennis toma e segue. Senna, Berger e Levski. Com este terceiro lugar, a Dallara tem praticamente assegurada a saída das pré-qualificações, e a Lotus vê afastado o perigo de cair mais um triunfo, o terceiro consecutivo do brasileiro Ayrton Senna, que assim toma uma posição muitíssimo favorável no campeonato do mundo de Fórmula 1. 30 pontos, leva já somados o atual campeão do mundo contra 10 de Berger e 9 de Alain Prost. Quanto à vantagem da McLaren, é também bastante grande. Veremos o que se irá passar dentro de 15 dias no circuito sinuoso e citadino de Mónaco. Cerimónia do champanhe e espectadores da Rádio e Televisão Portuguesa, em meu nome e dos Domingos Piedade, esperamos que esta transmissão lhes tenha chegado em boas condições de imagem e som.
Insights all over the place. Gerhard Berger, Ayrton Senna, just total domination from John Watson and myself in San Marino. We leave you with these pictures of the weekend. Pay attention, everybody.
Gave a problem again in the afternoon, and it was more than 30 laps with the aero light flashing. And I dropped the revs immediately on the shifting and also on the straight, start to lift on the straight to not have much revs, and it seemed to work good to at least stabilize the engine. And then I was just trying to control myself with Gerhard, and fortunately for me, unfortunately for him, he also had some problem, and then was possible for me to slow down and still maintain some gap, and then we both were able to finish first and second.
And it was impossible to brake late. I had to brake early, had to brake down with the engine, and I just slow down and I just control the rest of the field. And suddenly, 15-20 laps later, the caliper starts to work again, and
Third place was JJ Leto's best result ever. An outstanding effort, having started in the back half of the field.
Basically in the beginning of the race it was very, very difficult conditions. I mean, starting from the 16th place there was a lot of smoke and everything, and you couldn't see really nothing. And I was just taking easy, and then when we changed the slicks, it was getting better and better, the car, and I was just going for it.
Another delighted Finn, Mika Häkkinen, who came home fifth.
Yeah, it was first time for me racing in a wet condition F1. It was unbelievable. It was, you couldn't see absolutely anything. Even the next car in front of you have a red light, you couldn't see that.
Race was going well. Unfortunately, I had a problem with the engine, that electrical problem, I think. I was driving, I think, very hard to keep Senna behind, but I think I could do it. And also, for me, it was very good to be in front in the wet, because my good feeling for the race was in the dry setup. And I think if I was in front in the wet, I could have even better chance when it was dry.
What was going on in your mind when you were sitting for the long pit stop?
at Minardi. Celebration.
Yeah, Luigi Martini, very good race for you today. Tell us about it from the start to the end.
Yeah, it's been a very hard race for me because I have lost the clutch after 15 laps, and I did all the race without clutch, and it's been very hard.
A salute from Mr. Minardi himself, and
今どこを走っているのか。21000キロの上空から星が答える。初めての街でもクルージングは流れ